It was called the Atomic Age and the Fabulous 50s. Swept away was the gray mood of the war years. This was an era when Americans had fun. This joyful mood came in part from the robust post-war economy. Factories were churning out products to satisfy the growing consumer appetite in America and to meet the needs of a post-war Europe. The defense industry kept military supplies flowing in reaction to the Cold War. And the nation was building, straight up in the cities and far out into the country. America's economy was the biggest in the world. With job security, a good paycheck, and no military responsibilities, for many the time was right to settle down and get married. Millions rushed to the altar, sending marriage rates to an all-time high. Home builders anticipated the needs of newlyweds and young families. They built new suburbs that appealed to countless first-time home buyers. Eager families left urban areas in droves to enjoy modern homes with the latest time-saving conveniences. Among the most famous housing developments were the Levitt town communities. Navy builder William Levitt took what he had learned about efficient military construction and applied it to the mass production of homes. To keep down costs and maintain uniformity, Levitt bought his own forest, sawmill, and railroad line, then standardized production and built thousands of factory-style homes. It was exactly what many young families wanted, a neat, affordable place to live. $90 down and $58 a month could buy a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house with modern amenities, well within reach of the new middle class. The 1950s home was the focal point of family life. There, women devoted their time to being good wives and mothers. The role of cheerful homemaker was strongly encouraged, even idealized in media images. More than any other decade, motherhood was embraced. Between 1945 and 1964, roughly 76 million babies were born in the United States. Collectively known as baby boomers, it is the largest generation in the nation's history. Unlike earlier generations, this one came with a guidebook, Dr. Benjamin Spock's Common Sense Book of Baby and Child Care. In it, Dr. Spock suggested parents relax and have fun with their kids. His influence made children the center of the 1950s household. In the suburbs, families could live a seemingly idyllic life. Well-manicured lawns, safety for children, fun leisure activities, and good neighbors that all fit right in. With their own post office, schools, shopping centers, and places of worship, there was no need or desire to return to the crowds and complexities of cities. Not everyone was pleased with the growth. Urban planners warned against unchecked sprawl and wasting natural resources. And in the cities, as whites took their economic clout out of urban areas, funding for civic improvements left too. Many inner cities became blighted. Those outside of the financial boom of the 1950s remained in declining urban areas with growing poverty and crime. But few in the new middle class took notice of such things. They were busy chasing the new American dream, influenced by consumerism. Shopping malls made it easy and quick to get just the right item. Feel-good advertisements promised a better life if you bought their product.
Completely new from base to lid. Take it apart, see what they did. The General Electric blender is best for you.
Americans filled their homes with everything they could want or need. If you couldn't afford it, you could charge it to your new credit card. Buy now and pay later was the mantra. Shopping on credit took off in the 50s. How people earned a living changed in the post-war years. For the first time, white-collar service workers outnumbered those who made products. This change was reflected in city skylines. Sleek but impersonal towers of concrete, glass, and steel were built to house rapidly growing corporations and their employees, workers who were often referred to as company men. For this group, conformity meant success. A proper suit and a starched white shirt was the look that signaled executive. Employees learned teamwork, loyalty, and conformity. Business leaders took their cues from their military experience. It was efficiency and productivity, not individuality, that counted. Away from work, one way Americans showed their personality and status was in the cars they drove. The newer the car, the better.
There's a new era in automobiles. It's the new Motoramic Chevrolet. What's new? Everything. A revolutionary new ride plus new power.
And from the side, the airfoil-shaped fender lines and wide double molding are all new to accent the length and grace of the beautiful Bel Air Fisher body.
And don't you feel luxurious in that roomy interior?
Seems to have just everything you could ever ask for.
This was the beginning of America's car culture. The growing suburbs had little public transportation. People drove everywhere, and business changed to accommodate the trend. Shopping malls offered acres of parking. Drive-in movies showed front-seat entertainment. Motels catered to travelers on road trips. And drive-in fast food restaurants, complete with car hops, sprang up to meet the needs of an increasingly mobile population. Next to the family car, the most prized possession was the television set. In 1941, there were fewer than 10,000 televisions in the country. By 1959, over 65 million TVs had been sold. Television quickly replaced radio as the leading mass medium entertainment. Wholesome family fare drew viewers and sponsors. Conservative programming reflected the values of the era. Few questioned the images of a nearly all-white, idealized America. When families gathered to watch feel-good shows, they knew exactly what to expect and liked it that way. TV had its critics. In 1961, the chairman of the Federal Communication Commission, Newton Minow, called television a vast wasteland. But in 1954, viewers were riveted by the medium at its best. The unlikely event was the first televised congressional hearings.
Ready, will please come to order, so we can get the answers to some questions.
Millions tuned in to watch the Army-McCarthy hearings explode with human drama as accusations of political favors and communism flew.
Have you no sense of decency, sir?
The hearings were compelling, in large part because of the nation's preoccupation with the Cold War. The threat of nuclear attack was always present.
Once upon a time, your hometown was safe, but not now. It is possible for a rocket to strike your home right now, today, right now.
Many believed that a strong religious faith would shield the nation from the menace of so-called godless communism. Participation in religion surged. In 1957, Congress voted to add "In God We Trust" to paper currency, a year after the words "Under God" were inserted into the Pledge of Allegiance. But citizens wanted physical protection. They dug bomb shelters into backyards. They purchased reinforced blast-proof homes and fussed over radiation suits for their children.
A new housing development near Denver, Colorado shows the nation's first model homes with built-in fallout shelters. The room is designed with an atomic war in mind.
The government provided what reassurances it could, instructing citizens to duck and cover in case of nuclear attack.
Sundays, holidays, vacation time, we must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover. This family knows what to do, just as your own family should. You duck, and then you cover.
Over time, the civil defense program faded from public practice, as it became clear that in the event of nuclear attack, there was simply no escaping the deadly effects of radiation.
What are you supposed to do when you see the flash?
In the prosperous 50s, people discovered they had more leisure time. and dreamt up more ways to fill it. And for the first time, large numbers of young people could stay in school instead of getting jobs to help support their families. This group was newly identified as teenagers. Their allowances made them targets for marketers, and their leisure time gave them the freedom to explore a new craze that would become a major force in American music and culture: rock and roll. Airways beamed this new musical sensation into millions of American homes. And when Elvis Presley hit the scene, parents met their match. A tuxedo wasn't enough to cover what looked like trouble. Presley's gyrating hips were thought so suggestive. Most TV programs only showed his performances from the waist up. Parents were worried about the effects of his loose music on their teenage kids. But rock and roll could not be stopped. It grew out of African-American rhythm and blues and quickly became a large part of the teen experience, along with slick-back hairstyles and poodle skirts and a growing sense of rebellion. This feeling was most passionately expressed by defiant artists, poets, writers, and other non-conformists labeled the Beat Generation. Over time, the group would evolve and emerge in the 1960s as hippies. Their influence would have a dramatic effect on the culture and politics of America. Looking back on the post-war years, we are reminded of magnificent civic achievements and stunning technological advances. But the period's complex history also reveals a time of rampant fear, narrow vision, and entrenched prejudice. Enduring icons speak to the strengths and struggles of an era that remains one of the most memorable in America's 20th century.